The clock. Time for that Hillside roundup. Tonight, we got a cool dude coming in the building. Class of '88, Hillside High. Baseball, basketball, football. Here you go. He about to come in the building, and it's gonna be real fun tonight. Real fun. Just waiting for him to come on in. Hillside Roundups, we doing our thing right about now. Got some interesting chats coming up. Yeah, here we go. Bong bong. We got Mr. Rahim Graham coming in the building. Graham, what's going on, buddy?
What's up, Ike? What's going on?
Hey, man, hanging in there, man. Yo, glad you can make it. I'm sorry for the delays, but yeah, we here, and I see you now.
All right. See you too, bro. You're doing big things.
Yeah, man, try to, man. Hey, let's start it off. Let's go into it. Class of '88, Hillside High School. Let's talk about it. Sports. Where we going? Baseball, basketball, football. Where we going?
We did it. I did it all.
Yeah.
People probably didn't know I was one of the better baseball players because Hillside baseball wasn't recognized, but coming up through Little League and very competitive.
Mm.
Made all-star teams, one of the best gloves around, and can hit. Had one of the best averages around. Yep.
Oh wow, okay. So
Yep.
now what's up on that football scene?
Well, football probably got noticed the most. I was also successful in football, and
Okay.
football was more exciting than baseball, so that's what I went with when I went to college.
Okay.
But yeah, so I was definitely came up through Pop Warner, and from 9 years old all the way through. My last year didn't make the midget team because I was undersized. You had to be a certain weight to make the big team, so
Right.
that hurt my confidence. But got rolling again in freshman year, so I had to sit
Okay.
out my 8th grade year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now what about
with football?
go ahead.
With my senior year, made defensive MVP along with my boy Daniel Baldwin. We were co-MVPs, and we both ended up at Kean together, where we did our thing up there too.
Kean University.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, now it's Kean University. Back then it was Kean College.
Yeah. I went there when it was looking like a high school, but they built it up. It's amazing how it looks now.
Yeah, man. Now, what about the basketball scene? What was going on with basketball?
Yeah, with basketball, my freshman year, we were 22-1.
Wow.
We had Eric Dabney. We had I forgot his name. He was a smooth point guard. He ended up moving to North Carolina. His name was Al. We missed him.
Yeah.
He would have been something in Hillside. He was
Okay.
smooth. We had Dave Burks. We had Lawrence Salas. We had Kenny Bass. So we had a real good team. We had a very good team. And Elizabeth is the only team that beat us.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's all I hear between Elizabeth, Roselle, and Roselle Catholic. Those were the only teams that really competed with Hillside.
Yeah. And Linden came around a little bit later, but Elizabeth, they beat us my freshman year, and they beat us in the JV tournament when I was a sophomore.
Wow.
Yeah, they were good. And our senior year, we would have had one of the best teams around, but Lawrence Salas didn't come out to play, and Eric Dabney got in some trouble. And so those are 2'6", 6'3" guards that we were missing.
Dang.
Yeah, we would have done something.
Yo, so now let's fast forward a little bit. Now we were talking your time. Now let's move on to coaching, because you was my football coach. You was my freshman football coach. And where'd that take you? You started off as freshman head coach or what?
Yeah. Me and Norm Ford started off. Norm Ford, one of the legendary running backs in Hillside. Me and him were the freshman coaches, and we were undefeated that year.
Yeah.
We walk on the field, and teams come up, coach. I'm so glad I heard so much about your team. My team prepared all week. We can't wait to play you. 42-0. I mean, we've beaten everybody. Like nobody came close. Nobody came close, and we couldn't wait to the end of the year because we got to play JV, and JV had Barry Bird and Roger Wingate and players like that. Now they were better up front, but skill-wise, we were hanging right there with them. Nobody scored on each other. We couldn't move neither team could move the ball.
Yeah. Now between the guys that I had on here, which was like Roger Wingate and DeJuan Weems, and that was about it. That was it for them. Yeah, because that was all the football guys I had. Now, those guys were saying, I mean, like honestly, comparing those to the basketball team, Hillside had a dynasty of basketball and football guys, man. You was part of that coaching staff and the winning staff, man. What was going on with that? Like,
yeah, well, I got to see Lamont Adams, Kendall Ogle. That was
Kendall was up.
Yeah. Coach K was the coach, and I got to see Rayvon Miles. Then later, DeJuan Weems, and it's a couple players that played freshman ball for us. They didn't quite get their act together in time to be successful, in the varsity level. But players like John Mitchell, I don't know. Like we had guys that didn't quite make it. There's a kid named Marcus, I think Marcus Johnson.
Yes, I remember him. Yeah.
Listen, these guys were special. They, didn't make good choices at that time, but they would have been very good too. It was exciting to coach these guys, man. We were always competitive, and took a liking to guys like DeJuan Weems because he was small. And,
right.
And he reminded me of myself. And he thought I was too hard on him, but I was his biggest advocate. Because I knew I had to make him feel like he could do anything because he was undersized. So I put him on 6'2", 6'3" guys, and he held his own.
Yeah, he definitely did, man. 'Cause I remember on games and seeing practices and stuff. DeJuan was holding it down, man.
Yeah,
he was a tough little dude.
Yeah. Funny thing, he ran into a dude that transferred from Elizabeth to Roselle, man. Took him out one day, but he got up. He got up and he finished strong. And that's what I wanted. I wanted guys that no matter what size they were, to come out and dominate.
Right.
And a lot of players get on me now, like when they see me. I took D-backs and running backs. I took that very seriously. I wanted them to think like they were elite. And Coach Hopkey used to send guys over just to mess with me. Guys that didn't fit the D-back mode or the running back mode, and they got sent right back to the linemen and to the linebackers. You have to be elite to be in my group, Yeah. But I coach Jerron McMillan. I coached him. He was a strong safety for us. He ran over somebody at Roselle game at home, stepped on his chest.
Yeah.
Stiffed armed him, stepped on his chest, and ran it for like a 60-yard touchdown. Like you don't realize at the time that was special. That's why he got an opportunity in the pros. He wasn't a D-back, but I coached Marquise Sproul. Also, he made it to the pros. He played for Syracuse University, and he got hurt right before the season. He played for the Atlanta Falcons.
That's the guy I was thinking about.
Yeah. He probably, I think he's the last one to make it to the pros. Yeah.
Was it Kendall the first, right? Kendall was the first, right?
No, a guy named Dave Burks. He was on the '85 championship team. He was a tight end. He might have caught 5 passes all year. He didn't catch too many balls, but one time we was playing home and the ball went out of bounds. And we used to have that wooden gate that was up around the hill. He jumped over it, like 2 feet, jumped over it, grabbed the ball, jumped back over. Like, we didn't notice that he was that special at that time, but when he went to college, he dominated.
Yeah.
He was a tweener between a wide receiver and a tight end. He dominated. Nobody could stop him. He was on the Raiders, I think San Diego. He was on a couple NFL teams.
Oh, wow. Damn.
Yeah, he was the first one.
I'm going to do my Googles on that one, man. For
real.
Yeah.
And he grew up in the Boondocks with me.
Oh.
Yeah. He was, he's older, but yeah. So he helped. Growing up in the Boondocks, you had to have a chip on your shoulder because nobody respected the Boondocks because they felt like it wasn't hard enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I got tested a couple times, and he was right there with me. Him and my boy Brett Strauss, they covered for me, and took me under their wing because you got tested, you got bumped in the hall and stuff like that, especially. Up top, who I'm cool with now, like you never knew that it was a beef, but GW area and Calvin Coolidge did not get along.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then
and that little radius right
there. And then Williamson Ave too. We had trouble with Williamson Ave too. Yeah. It was a mess, man. It was
yeah. Cause my era, I was torn in between. Because I was down the hill. I finally moved to Hillside. I was down the hill, right down the street from the Hillside High. And then my grandmother, she always stayed up the hill. So I was cool with half of Newark and half of Hillside. And then it's down here where it's just strictly Hillside. It's like, all right, now we got to beef at the pal.
Yeah. Like you got tested if you wasn't the tougher areas, the blacker areas,
Yeah, man.
but we all came in ironically, we all came in from North and other places like that. It's just where you move, people just thought you was a little softer.
Yeah. Like Isaac Nelson, he just told us, he put it out here on the show. He gonna say, yeah, well, quiet as kept. Y'all ain't know I was from Roselle. I'm like, yo, dog, that's the biggest rivalry.
Yeah. No, listen, man, my house caught on fire, and we was home. We were displaced for a little bit. My sophomore sophomore year, and I lived in Linden at my uncle's house on McCandless Street.
Okay.
And around the corner, right, a little half a block was a basketball court. And I went there with my ball, and brother, I didn't even make it on the court. I heard every ball stopped dribbling, everything, and the whole court stopped saying, that MF from Hillside. I turned right back around, dribbled right back to my uncle's house. It was crazy, man. It was crazy.
Damn.
And I don't know about that. I was like, now they know where I'm staying. They might come to the house. It was crazy. Yeah.
So now talk to me about basketball. Now, what'd you do in basketball though?
Man, I was a role player in basketball. I was a little bit like Tariq. I was a defensive guy. And so although my sophomore year I was the second leading scorer on the team with like 13 points. My boy Dev Mumford, he averaged like 20 and up. He dominated JV year, but he made my off guard a little easier because everybody concentrated on him, so allowed me to have some open shots. Because he was the player. Damn. He was the player. He was only I'm 5'7". He's about 5'5". Yeah, so he was good. The Mumford's Money Ice was his older brother. He was another good ball player.
Wow, jeez.
Yeah.
All right. So now let's go to Central.
Central, man. Listen, man.
What can you say about Central?
Central was off the hook. I think it was the best ball players came around Central. Central had to be known throughout all Union County, Essex County. And listen, you had to get your mind right to go to Central. Because if you had to have the mindset that we were winning, because it would be 5 nexus, you know. So and if you didn't play hard, you didn't get picked up. Like you didn't get picked up on a big court. So to save yourself some embarrassment, you came to play. You came to play. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The second court, I used to just go there to warm up, but so you know, I can hit an open jump shot. You know, I was, you know, if you leave me open, I'm gonna hurt you. But I used to play hard and get steals and play hard. You know, you be posted up by grown men, hold your own, show how tough you are. Because if you didn't, you wouldn't get picked up.
Right. That's the most step.
So Central taught you some toughness. You had to come to play.
Yeah. And I mean, like, that's not a knock on no other park that was in the area or anything like that. But we had it all down there, man. Central was just like, it was home once you made it home.
Yeah.
Like once you was out there, you played and you was on the regular, there you go. You know?
Yeah.
So now let's go to Kean University. What now? How did it work out at Kean University? What'd you do? What was your major? You know, what was going on with that?
At Kean University, when I went there, I was a little bit. I hurt my knee senior year in football. At the end of the year,
Okay.
I finished. I had a sprained ligament in my knee, and then one of the Hillside parties, my boy was drinking. And he was a little drunk. He lost his balance and fell into my knee. My knee swelled up like a ball. Right, you know, at the end of the season, ready for basketball. So I didn't play my senior year until. You know, I'm going to tell anybody. I signed a fake doctor's note just to get out there. But little did I know, my mother called behind me because she heard me talking on the phone that I was playing, and she told the coach, "Don't play me." I don't know why. She said I can practice, but so I was trying to figure out why he wasn't putting me in, and I started to get in a little bit early. Christmas tournament. That was my first time that I got to play. So I missed like 3 or 4 days before that. And so Roselle was in the Christmas tournament. But I remember when I got the court and my knee almost gave out. And I realized I wasn't quite ready. But before I can even do anything about it, as far as take a little more time off, my mother had called. So me being who I am, I wanted to prove to her that I can do it. So I never took some time off, but I would go to the weight room at the end of the practice or before practice to strengthen my knee up. And by the end, I was ready to play in the state game, but we lost.
Damn.
Yeah. But so senior year, we were just okay. We had a couple down years after I graduated. Matter of fact, I think 1 down year after I graduated, and then Mazik and them took over. Mazik was a sophomore on my senior year. He started as a sophomore.
Oh, wow. Now, who else was on that team?
Dave Burks, Kenny Bass, Derek Cotton, Robert Jones. No, we were just hardworking players. Dave Burke was probably the best out of us. He was the best out of us.
Now, who was the coach though? Because I hear Mr. Ender names floating around.
Silver, that was Silver's last year as coach.
Oh, okay.
My senior year. Yeah, he was Ender was our. It was still Ender was the freshman coach. Jerry Alexander was the JV coach, and Silver was his senior, varsity coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we getting into what you're doing now, which is a principal.
Yeah.
How'd you make that transition, man? Because I know you from sports. I don't know how you got into principal.
Man, I don't know. I don't know how I get. First of all, to get into teaching, I never thought about being a teacher, leaving Kean, because I was a business administrator. I graduated with a business administration degree, and then my last year I became a sub. So 90 had to be January '93. I became a substitute teacher, And Derek Sellers was coaching, I think he was coaching freshmen. And each would be like, yo, come with me to the game, man, you know. And I saw the excitement and I fell in love with coaching.
Yeah.
So then I was thinking about teaching more and more, but I was scared to take the test because I heard the practice was super hard.
Yeah.
So what happened is it was a superintendent, Mia Coward. I was in school suspension aide. I was follow Base in the dungeon. Base used to work he was in school suspension aide in the dungeon. I followed him. He became a special ed teacher. So I took his place down in the dungeon. And within that year, she said, you're a little bit too complacent. I think you got some potential. So I'm taking all your coaching away. And I want you to study for the practice. If you pass, I got a teaching job for you. So so the next year, so I got to finish that year as in-school suspension aide. The next year, I became a security guard, just so I can take the practice and get benefits in you know, also, because I was getting benefits as an in-school suspension aide. So I was put on the third floor. You know, third floor, it's not as active as the other floor. So the third floor, I just studied for the practice the whole day, you know. Yeah, so I took it at the end of the year and I passed it. Gave me a kindergarten job. Didn't want to be a kindergarten teacher. I would never imagine that, but I think I spent 5 years as a kindergarten teacher, 4 as a first grade teacher, and a year as a second grade teacher. And I did not want to come out the classroom because I loved coaching. Right. And they was telling me that I could not be an administrator and coach at the same time. But Terry Costas was the athletic director, and she was a coach.
Right, I remember.
So you can't tell me that somebody else can do it and I can't, because I felt like we was playing a race card a little bit. So you know, when superintendents would talk about it, like, oh, leave Mr. Graham alone. He wants to be an administrator. He wants to be good at what he does. Coaching will be too hard for him. And that's an insult when you're allowing somebody else to do the same thing. So
for you.
Prior to me doing that, it was a coach. I don't know if you remember Corey Lowry. He
right, yeah, I remember.
Yes, he was. He had became an administrator, and the superintendent at the time said he couldn't coach, so he left the district. He was going to go to Roselle to be a VP and coach. The superintendent was getting flack from the community, so he told him to come back and he'll allow him to do both. But when he came back to Hillside, because he loved Hillside, when he came back, he told them, I'm taking coaching back off the table. So he was, Corey was a VP at the time at WOK, and he left the district because he felt like he was disrespected. And so that left the fight up to me. And I got to coach 1 extra year before they actually put it in writing. So Ms. Costas and I both lost the opportunity to coach as administrator. But I was okay with that because if it was going to have to be that way, because you wasn't going to allow her to do it and tell me I couldn't. But
yeah, right.
So that took away my opportunities. I actually did it as a Coach Enda and I did it as a where I was a volunteer and he was the coach in name, and we finished off the season that way. We made it to the States that year, and so yeah, they had to rebuild after that. But then Coach Jacqueline, one of my former players, brought them right back, and they ended up making the States again. So yeah, it was a battle. It was a battle, and it was a lot of clashes. And I'm still hearing like, oh, you were disrespectful. You should have just listened. But no, I got a lot of fight in me. You got to treat me fairly. You got to treat me just as you treat everyone else. So that was a battle. So I did vice principal for maybe 4 years, and then 4 or 5 years, and I became a principal. So this is my 5th year.
That was a long time.
Yes, long journey from security guard, sub, in-school suspension, security guard, teacher, VP, principal. You know, yeah.
Because I'm going through the transition right now. I'm in Fanwood, Scotch Plains, and I'm going through the transition. I'm a sub right now, and that's cool. It's working out and everything like that, and it's definitely has its points to it. But I'm in an environment where I don't know. Like, I'm there for one certain goal, and that's the coach. And
Yeah.
but they tossed me over here to do this first, just to be in the board. So I'm like, okay, I could deal with that.
Yeah, you know what? You got anything you want to do, it's going to be some bumps in the road. But if you stay consistent, you know, and persevere through that, it'll make you a better person in the long run.
Yeah, definitely.
It helps make you who you are.
Right. Yeah. So now we coming up upon that time, brother. What's your top 5 guys you've ever seen play the game of basketball, whether it's in Hillside High or at Central?
Man, that's kind of tough. But I'm my number one. I'm gonna have to put Tony Little.
Tony Little, okay.
Tony Little, being at Central, and first watching Tony play in high school. Mm-hmm. I have older sisters, so I used to go up to the games to watch the varsity play, and watching him from when he was a sophomore. I think that was his first year start. He started as a sophomore, and they had a really good team then, and he started. Just to see him develop each year, and then at Central, it was nobody that could stop him. He was inside, outside, post moves. He was powerful. Like, he was smooth but powerful. He would dunk with 2 hands with ease on guys twice, like 6'8", 6'9", because everybody showed up at Central. And we had guys that had, you see jump out the gym, but he did it with less effort than they would, and with 2 hands and more powerful. He dominated. I never saw anybody hold him down. Yeah. Never saw anybody hold him. The second one is tough because I played with Mazik. I saw him play. I never seen Vic play. But it's so many older cats that come up to me and you just tell me, you never saw Vic play? They said he could jump and he could take a quarter off the backboard, off the top of the backboard. I don't know if that's true.
You talking about Vic Wells?
Yes. I don't know if that's true, but I got to pay homage to the old school. I hear his name as one of the best players that ever played in Hillside. I never saw him play though, because he's older than I am. And
yeah.
But I look at him now like he does little. He takes the younger kids under his wing and he trains them. He still has
right.
He still has handle and everything. Plays trick with the ball, and so I gotta give it to him. I gotta give it to him. Play respect to the to the old heads. Growing up, the older heads took you under the wing and brought you up. So I'm gonna let them have that. Then it would be Mazik. Mazik was a well-rounded player, could pass, score, rebound, know how to use his body, and he started off as a fat kid, man. Like, he was overweight, and then he just had a growth spurt, and it's just, I didn't realize he had that in him because I knew him when he was a fat kid.
Wow.
Yeah, and he was outstanding. Followed him, watching him in AAU, and he did his thing. And he was going too early, man. Still hurts.
Right.
Yes.
Definitely.
My fourth guy, you might not ever heard of him, but once again, growing up and going to the games, he graduated, I think, with one of my sisters, J.J. Lewis. He was thick, but he was smooth with his jumper, and he could pass. He could do it all too. They had strong teams. They made it to the county final, and you wouldn't believe who beat them. Beat them by maybe 4 to 6 points. Clark. Clark and the guy who hurt him was Kevin Boyle.
Wow, really?
Yeah, yeah. He had this up and under move that we went for every single time. Every single time. He showed the ball, go up under, and I don't know how he made it, but that was his move. That was his move. But yeah, man, we were the team that year. We beat them during the regular season, I believe, and then they beat us in the county at the dunk.
Wow.
Yeah. At the dunk.
So
Yep.
who's your fifth?
Listen, my fifth is a tie. I'm gonna put them together because I worked the parks at Central over the summer, a couple of summers, and when I would get there at say 8:50 to set up, Lamont Adams and Delvon Arrington was already there.
Oh, yeah.
So they must have been there since 6:30, 7 o'clock, because they would be fully drenched by the time that I got there.
Damn.
And playing against Delvon at Central, he was a young cat.
Yeah.
And I was scared. I was scared to bring the ball up against him because his defense was crazy. He was a team player. Like you didn't know his abilities because he did it all. He did it all. So and Lamont, I didn't know how good he was until I was a sub, and one time I was substituting for a phys ed class, and so I got out there on the court with him, and he had a smile on his face. I'll never forget this. Yo, he tore me up. Yo, he tore me up, and I was serious, but he tore me up, and he had these little herky-jerky moves where he looked like he was about to shoot, and he wasn't, and keep his dribble alive, and he go right around you. When you think gonna go around you, he pull up for the jump shot. He's a nightmare. He was a nightmare. Yeah.
Damn. Shit, grab, man. Yo, that's an interesting five that you just put together, man. And I mean, like, anybody could. I mean, like, I don't think that there should be any type of debate with that.
It's hard to see everybody. There's a lot of good players that came. Eric Dabney,
right.
At Central was unbelievable.
Yeah,
unbelievable. We had another dude from the Boondocks, Chris Edwards, was unbelievable at Central. Yeah. But I Elizabeth had a point guard. He ended up going to UNLV. I forgot his name offhand, but him and Lamont used to go at it at Central.
You don't want Shaheem Holloway?
Shaheem Holloway was another one that he went to St. Pat's. Him and Lamont battled. So Lamont picked football, but he was just as tough in basketball.
Right.
Because you couldn't tell that Shaheem was head and shoulders above Lamont. It was a toss-up. Yeah. They actually played in the Union County final. I thought we got cheated that game. They called the Lamont, I think, got a steal and went up for a layup. And I forgot this player's name. I think he ended up going to UMass. He made D1. He slid in under him, but if sideways, they called the charge. Changed the whole momentum of the game. I think we lost by 2, but we were coming back and they had nothing for us. And they called that BS, and it took our momentum away.
Damn.
Yeah.
Shoot. Well, Graham, man, I appreciate you coming through, man. Yo, I'll give you your flowers while you here, while you breathing, man. Your name popped up. I had to show you that love tonight, man. So.
I respect that you thought enough of me to ask for me to come on.
Yeah, man, because next up is Mr. Ender, man. Okay. I'm going to try to see if I can find him.
Yes.
If I can't find him, then if you don't want to come on.
Yeah, he'll have a lot of he's been around for a long time, so he'll have great storyteller. So you get a lot of information from Mr. Ender.
Oh, yo, that's what's up, man. But Graham, man, thanks for stopping through, bro. I'm gonna hit you in a minute. Appreciate you, man.
Tell all your brothers I said what's up.
Yo, definitely, man.
All right, take it easy, man.
All right.
Peace.
All right.